Joining me now is Victor Gao. He's chair professor at Soochow University. Victor, always great to see you.
Thank you.
Well, most people around the world are most familiar with the section just outside of Beijing. How much of the Great Wall is in disrepair? And talk to us about what we would see.
Thank you very much. The Great Wall in China is truly a world heritage. It's a pride of mankind as a whole. However, given the rapid urbanization in China, the rapid economic development, including in the rural areas, many sections of the ancient Great Wall have fallen into disrepair, partially because few people travel to those distant, remote areas to start with, and secondly, people in the neighborhood also wanted to see whatever they can do to promote their economic development, sometimes keeping an eye on the ruins, for example, removing bricks from the wall, etc., leading to greater disrepair. Now, this is truly a very, very unfortunate situation. I think China needs to come up with an overall plan to take care of the ruins of the Great Wall so that the Great Wall ruins throughout its total length can be preserved for future generation of mankind, because it is truly very much of a part of history. I would say the Chinese nation are the Chinese nation partially because of the Great Wall. And this need to be preserved for future generations, and a lot of resources and human effort need to be devoted to the preservation of the Great Wall for future generations of mankind.
Well, talk to us about the efforts to restore the wall. We heard what's being done in Shandong province, but really how big of an undertaking is this when you consider the time it may take, the resources it may take to physically put some of this back together, and then the cost must be astronomical.
Exactly. I think right now, if you are talking about some sections of the Great Wall in more populated areas, they can easily become tourist attractions and generate profit enough to support the preservation. The major problem lies in those sections of the Great Wall which are more or less in remote areas with very few people living around these sections, and very few tourists would travel that distance to visit those remote ruins. Now, in China, the preservation is mostly done by the governments at different levels, especially involving the local governments. I think one thing China can do is to mobilize the whole society, because right now we do have the technical advantages. For example, we can really use all the advanced technologies, AI, etc., and mobilizing funds through the internet to pool the funds on the one hand, and also to develop specially trained people on the other hand, and then mobilize people at different levels of the hierarchy, for example, especially the local people, so that they will have an economic interest in preserving the ruins of the Great Wall of China. And this will involve a lot of new methodologies and new thinking about how the Great Wall can be preserved in terms of the funding, resources, human resources, for example, as well as the standardization, because we do not want to see the ruins of the Great Wall being renovated, but eventually it completely is different from the original form and shape of the Great Wall. All this will be a major undertaking, but I truly believe this will be worth it, because in China we will need to have enough funding, and lots of people are interested in how to help preserving the Great Wall for the future generations.
Well, it certainly is a sight to behold in real life, in person. Victor Gao, always great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.